Whale. Guess this is some of the damage from the hurricane. Walked in this morning and this is what I found. Well, I guess the client found it last night or yesterday. They put a piece of cardboard over it. But saw the last video, there's already a hole here and it was pretty rotted up to this point here. So we got this big old ficus tree here. You know, these branches were everywhere. Who knows? Any one of these could have hit it. I mean, the window parts down there, glass. Maybe it was this branch right there. Who knows, man? You know, it's quite the storm. So I have gone through and opened up, got all the second floor windows open. These are all casements, and I sprayed down the mechanism of the hinges with some WD-40 to try to loosen them up a little bit and see what's happening. This is a typical. Oh, it isn't even attached there. Oh, but the mechanism works pretty good. Look at that. This one doesn't have a mechanism. And I got these guys over here on the roof. Oh, there we go. Starting to move a little bit. That's pretty good. So that's like the first thing I'm going to do is just get them working again, so I can see what needs to be done as far as tuning goes before we start any refinishing. I don't know, maybe I need to make a new one. I don't know, we'll see. I have one casement out and it's upside down. So I'm looking at the bottom of it here and I'm noticing how, number one, how dry it is, but there's like zero paint on it. But this one here, it seems like it's really solid, really good. Makes you wonder, are you supposed to seal the bottom? I mean, because it's done pretty good without it. So this is like one of those spots too where it's going to get obliterated, right? I mean, I'm wondering about what's going to happen when I take this one out. Might find something similar, but I can already see like this joint here is already opened up here, so I'm pretty sure it's not going to be perfect. But this joint's still tight, that joint's still tight, so who knows. Here's something else to look at. This is that hinge side. This, you know, it's still upside down. The paint buildup that's on here, and you can see it's just huge ridge that's just accumulated over the years from people painting on the outside without opening it. The paint, you know, it just laps up over this edge and just accumulates there. That's one of the things that you just have to take that off, put the window back on and see how it's functioning. You get that all cleared up, man, you know, 95% of the time it's going to work fine. But then you got to repaint it, so. All right, I've got my hinges off. I've got it pretty much scraped to get that buildup off of there. Got the edges done on both sides. Are off, obviously, so I'll put those back on a little bit. Got some repair to do on this. My idea is just to see if I can make it swing or not. But one thing I noticed in the meantime, I'm looking at this window here. Maybe it was the other one. It became really obvious, but see there's scratches on the glass. Scratches on the glass. Scratches on the glass. Man, you don't see those until you really start this process, but once you start, man, they just start to get highlighted over and over again. This is from other painters. Man, I can feel these scratches. I've come in and sand the profiles to kind of knock the old stuff off and get ready for a new coat of paint, and they just scratch the glass all out. So it's one of the main reasons why in a true restoration you have to take the glass out of the opening so that you can protect this old glass. Okay, some of this glass is really freaking cool. Can't see it right now, but I did see one pane somewhere else that was pretty nice. I think it was in this bathroom. Yeah. I'm looking at this piece right here. You can't really see how nice it is, really, but it's got a lot of character to it. It's hard to see all the imperfections in it, but sure does have a nice piece of glass in there. Hope it's really nice. Okay, getting warmed up here. I'm working on how well this thing closes. I kind of got to put that together in a cursory kind of way. Man, this crank works really, really good. And I'm like getting some real tightness right here in this bottom corner. But what's notable is, see how that top wobbles up there? Okay, that means it's loose. That's relaxed. That's what I want. So I have to figure out what down here I'm supposed to take off. So I guess doing that back and forth action there, I'm gonna see if I got any marks. It looks like maybe I do. I mean, like, that's some rub marks right there. I got my block plane. I'm just shaving off a few whiskers. You know. See if I can pan out a little bit. You know, stuff like that. Nice test something like that to do with the work in place. I don't think it had any improvement, but kind of want to show you what I was working on, how I was doing it. But a little bit of an improvement. A couple more tries and it should be pretty good. I ended up taking a little bit off of here, but you know what's interesting is that it's saturated right now. Look at these hairs coming up. So, it's really not a whole lot I can do at the moment. I mean, we don't have electricity here, so, I mean, normally I could take a power planer or a circular saw to it, but man, it's saturated. But that's interesting. This is like that old growth cypress, and man, there's not a lick of rot on there. Who knows how many times this has gotten wet. You can see a little bit of rot forming right there, but I don't know if that's rot or if that's not, I mean, peckiness, which is rot basically. But you know, this is a lot of pecky cypress in this house. I mean, check out these doors. I mean, really freaking cool. All right, so I've got that second sash out, and man, it's got some spreading there. So I mean, I can work to fit it in the opening back and forth, but not without addressing this gap here. There's a couple of things going on. I mean, there's no gap on this side, but this is spread somehow. I'm not sure exactly how. I'm taking my glazing out here to try to give it some room. I've tried to tap it forward a little bit. You can see it's about an eighth there. It's, you know, dropped down a little bit. This seems to be the original length. And I've also got to squeeze these two together. So I've got to, I'll figure out how to do that, I guess. And if I'm looking at what I've got, I mean, there's a little pinhole nail there. I might have to take this piece of glass all the way out to see if there's some junk inside the mortise that's keeping it from being pushed forward. Because it doesn't do any good to, you know, fit this, or, you know, as it is, I gotta fix it. So anyway, let's see what I gotta do, and I'll come back to you in a little bit. Okay, so I got some glazing compound out. One of the things I see immediately is that if I want to raise this rail up any, my piece of glass is touching here. So I've got all this seal all the way around that is holding this rail in this position. So that if I want to push it up, I have to release this piece of glass and do the work. But my question was, and I saw this touching, I wanted to know if indeed there was a gap up here, and look, there is. Okay, so at some point, I don't know, maybe it dropped, but there is some, what do you call it, some putty in there that we need to take out. So, but there's room for this glass to slide up about an eighth, and it's just about as much as, you know, this is here. So I slide this glass up, I'll be able to push this up too, I think. So I turned it over, and I can see distinctly there's a hole there where the tenon goes into the mortise. You can see that or not. See if I can shed some light on it. See that space? That space there is about what this rail has to be shoved up. So, but what's concerning me is that I'm touching really, really tight on this muntin here, so I'm not exactly sure how that's going to play out, but we'll find out. Well, decided to put it back together. It's getting a little late outside, and to continue another time. Put my dowel in there, drill the hole, try to compress it, and it just didn't take. So try something else next time, tomorrow.